We have the extreme pleasure to have with us Mr. Ismail Durmaz, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Global GSA Group. So Ismail, welcome, and such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me here.
So Ismail, we've looked at your illustrious career, and you started your journey in Turkey, leading global powerhouse, and you've shaped the business to be one of the leading air cargo entities. Tell us something about this journey.
It was not my choice to enter in the Netherlands and start in this air cargo business. So my father decided in the 60s to come from Turkey to the Netherlands. And then we moved on in 71 to the Netherlands. And then after my school career, I joined a cargo company called Charter, and there it started. And the owner of the company gave me opportunities to start Global GSA Group, first as employee and later on as partner. So it's this is how it started. So it was not planned. It was not because of the school, but it was fate. And so this is how it started.
I'm sure you're very humble. Today, your company represents over 62 airlines in 46 countries, and maybe even more as we grow. But that's the website. But amazing. What an amazing growth. So, what are the key things which led to the growth? How did you grow?
When I took over in 99 and as director, we were in, of course, as a GSA in the Netherlands. And I had an idea that to survive, I should protect myself and be in bigger countries, because I understood that when an airline appointed a GSA in Germany, then the Netherlands was just a small part of it. And to become really protected by the size and the region, I decided to open offices around Europe. So first in the Benelux, and then later on in Germany, France, UK. It was more a protection. And the second thing, I did not, again, it was not planned. It was because the airlines we represented in the Netherlands, they were really growing airlines, and airlines like Turkish Airlines, airlines like China Southern, and they were at that time not the leading airlines of the world. Today, Turkish Airlines and China Southern are one of the leading airlines in the world. They were so happy with us in the Netherlands that they asked us, can you give this service also in other countries? And when we make the mix between the Chinese, because one of my partners, Kitty Liao, she was from China, she's Taiwanese, but she had this contact in China. We thought, okay, it's like a McDonald's formula. We are doing well in the Netherlands. We control our business. We know exactly this business, and can we do this in Frankfurt? Can we do this in Brussels? And the success worked, and the partners were happy, and we grow like a kid together with the airlines, and the airlines are today are still with us.
Fantastic.
So this is the way how Global GSA got its growth. And in the same time, mentor from Charter, Jos Buscher, who's now I think 86 years old, he's still my mentor. This is how, and always with the mentor helping me, because I was not studying to become a CEO of a company, and definitely not in the air cargo world, but he's still having me the support, and this is how we made this growth. Yeah.
That's so happy to hear this.
Yeah.
During the IATA conference here in Dubai, we hear the three key buzzwords for strategic success in air cargo. One is the vision, and I think you and your mentor have brought that immaculately. Two is capital, and three, which is most important, is the team.
Yeah, that's it.
How have you built your team, and what you think are the important areas for other people to understand about the reason to build the right team to work under you?
The team, how we did it was a copy of the company where I worked by Charter. It was very simple. The formula is very simple. Transparency between the owner and the workers. So we know exactly what we gain and what we lose. We do this together. So you cannot keep everything for yourself. So, and there was a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 deal. And this deal, I copied in Global GSA Group. So, and what is the 1/3 method? Is that we are saying we keep 1/3 of the profit we made, we keep it as capital in the company for the bad days will maybe come. 1/3 is for the shareholders, and 1/3 is we sharing with the staff.
Amazing.
And this keep, and I can tell you, there are people in our company, and when it started in Netherlands, they are longer than me in global than I did. And I'm happy that I have colleagues who are more than 30 years with me.
Amazing.
So and this is what, because without sharing, you can never achieve. Because when we had the Netherlands, I could take all the telephones, right? But when we opened 6, 7 offices, to get all the telephones ringing and taking, I can never do that alone. So we need the people, and and I'm so happy that it's still people business, and the human factor is very important. And I think this is for us very important. This is how I did it.
No, fantastic. Great to hear about your one-third
Yeah.
success formula.
Yeah.
I think all of our viewers should learn from this.
Yeah.
In today's world, Mr. Ismail, technology is playing an increasingly important role in business. Particularly now, we are talking of AI and all the disruptive technologies which are coming in. How do you see these reshaping the business in the next 5 to 10 years?
Let me tell you a different story. In our world, what we are doing today, it's not working anymore tomorrow. It's anyway changing. Of course, the air cargo world was with the freight forwarders and with the airlines, the transparency was not big. Okay, and we see with this transition and with the digital, it's more transparent. So you have to deliver. Everybody knows the numbers, and listen. I think it's a positive thing what we have to do, and we cannot get it out of our system. It's coming. AI is coming. All this searches, and we are very much investing in this kind of tools. We believe that we can be an add value with these tools, and I'm not seeing them as a threat. I see them really in the future. And if you cannot make the change, you cannot survive in the future. If going back, and this is going back in the 1997, when we were just let's say 5% GSA, so you could be appointed and you had 5% commission, and you have a turnover and you get 5%, right, from the turnover you do. I was in 1997. I have an article even in a newspaper saying when freight forwarders are taking commitments, we as GSAs, to survive, we should also take the risk. Because as a GSA, not many are taking risk. We are just selling by the time, and if we have selling some shipments, we have some revenue and we have immediately profit. We are not really investing. We are not taking any risk. So in 1997, I had an interview with a Dutch newspaper, and I said, I think to survive for in the future, we have to take minimum guarantee revenues. We have to share the risk with airlines, because freight forwarders like Kuehne+Nagel, DHL, who are taking a part, they are taking block space agreements with airlines, and they are taking risk, right? Then what is then the add value as you as a GSA? So an airline is investing 200, 300 million in aircrafts, and you are selling, and they depend on you, but you are saying, if I sell, I get then, but the risk. So I said it in 97, and I had a huge comment in the Amsterdam committee. I said, Ismail, what are you doing? We are GSA, we are 5%. How we have to commit? But today, if you talk to any airline, they want you to share risk. They want you to commit. They want you having a kind of a commitment or a minimum guarantees. And this is what. So I see that this with the transition with portals, what's coming up. I think we can add products onto portals, and we will work differently. But I think the airlines and our industry will still use GSAs, because the human factor will still play a big role in this business.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your vision and your wisdom. One last question which I have is, where do you see the group in the next, say, 5 to 10 years? Where are the growth opportunities for the group? What are the markets you're focusing on? What are your aspirations in terms of what you want to do?
No, we are growing. We did some acquisitions in South America, in the US. So we are as a European GSA growing now also in other continents, and slowly. We had the idea to keep it on the radar. But now, of course, being one of the leading GSAs in the world, we have to show our power, and we are investing and growing by acquisitions. And in the same time, we would like to see that we can take risk in some kind of flights from China into Europe. And although the market, it's not the right time, but I believe when the market is in this situation, people who are taking risk, I believe they will survive. I have a feeling that where people were now a little bit, let's say, putting in the brakes and saying, okay, let's see. I think we do the opposite. We invest and we try to stay as a leader, because we would like to, and I think only the leaders in the world will stay, and then we can dictate, and we would still be good partners for airlines.
Thank you, Mr. Ismail. It's been lovely meeting you, and
You.
thanks for sharing your wisdom.